Hey everyone, it's Joe the 50 something Dasher, and this is part two of my series on understanding shop and pay orders with DoorDash. And as you can see, part two, we're now coming to you from inside the store, and I'm kind of going to go over just some things to kind of understand, kind of keep in mind about the actual shopping of the orders itself. Some different things to know, different strategies, things along those lines. So the order that we're going to kind of that I'm going to use an example here is from a couple days ago before shooting this video. This $15.55 Meyer 8 miles 12 items. So I went ahead and took this, thinking that, okay, so for $15, that means I should try to have this done in about 45 minutes. And I think I can do this. So 12 items, that should just take me anywhere from about somewhere in that 10 to 15 minute range, I'm guessing, and no matter what the items are. And then, so that's 10 to 15 minutes for that. And let's just say a half hour for getting to the store, which in this example, I'm already to the store, but that's the half hour for checking out, getting the stuff to my car, getting to the customer, and drop off. So 45 minutes is what I'm shooting for here. Now, what I do is before you even click arrive at the store in the app, you can see if you scroll up on the app, instead of clicking that button, you can see the shopping list before you click arrive to store. And that's usually what I do. So here's the list for this particular order. And you see there's a couple, there's the one multiple at the top, but most everything is just, like a single item of each of these things. And so I take a look at this to kind of, I just glance at it to kind of see where I need to go in the store first ahead of time before I click arrive at store. Because remember, you're timed on all of these shopping orders. So you want to be efficient about it and make sure that after you click start shopping, that you shop these items in the least amount of time as you can. So you want to get an idea of where you're going in the store first before you even click you've arrived there. So I just kind of glanced through this, and on this particular order, I didn't do a perfect job of it. I just saw the word bags at the top of the screen. I thought that was like trash bags in the grocery side of the store. And then I just kind of glanced through the rest of this, and it kind of, to me, just looked like a regular like grocery order. So I pick out something in this list that I want to go to first before I hit start shopping. So in this particular example, I chose the bananas because they're right at the front of the store. So what I do is, so I get there, and if you have to do something, like a lot of times I'll have to use the bathroom, I'll do that first before I click start shopping. So like I'll walk into the store, and as I'm walking to the bathroom, I click arrive at store. Then I go to the bathroom, do my business, grab a cart, go to whatever the first item I want to go to on this list, get there with my grocery cart, then hit start shopping when you're ready to start shopping. And then so then you want to, like I said, then you want to start shopping the different items. And one thing I'll mention before we move on to this, back to this example on produce. If it's a good idea to, if the store you're at has like some stores have the weigh scales With the DoorDash app, it's going to make you weigh all the produce and enter a weight and everything. You're going to have to do that. And you have to put in like how many items you have and the total weight. Now, if this weigh scale has to where it prints out barcodes and labels for that particular item and the weight that you have, I would highly recommend printing out those labels. I always do. And that way you can, when you go up to the registers, you don't have to go through the whole process again of looking up an item at the cash register, or the cashier having to do this. And to look up the item, you have to weigh it again, get the price, and you've already done that in the produce department and printed out a sticker. So all you got to do is just scan it. So that's a little time saver there to use. Now on this example, the lawn and leaf bags, actually that's over in the lawn and garden department, so I had to go over there. Had I seen that or paid attention to that when I first looked at the list, I probably would have gone to that side of the store first and got stuff. Since most of it's grocery, but there's a few items on the other side of the store, I would have got the few items on the other side first, then come over to the grocery for the rest. And then, so here on this next screenshot was two other items that I didn't really see at the first glance. Chapstick is on the other side of the store with the near lawn and garden, and this drink that's in the middle of this screenshot, that's not where most of the rest of the drinks are in the back of the grocery store. This particular drink is kept cold in the produce department, actually. So on this particular order, I started with the bananas. I got all the different grocery items, realized the three items that were in different areas. Okay, so I came back up front to produce, grabbed that drink. Now it was off to the other side of the store, get the chapstick, get the bags, and then click proceed to checkout. And the next screenshot is the total time it took me was even with having to come back to the front of grocery and go across the store, even with that extra walking, I still had this shopped in 13 minutes, 8 seconds out of DoorDash recommended 20 minutes for this. And so I stayed within my 10 to 15 minute time range that I was expecting to spend shopping this order. Okay, and then so I go to check out, deliver that to the customer, and so here is the pay screen on that, and you see the timestamp 9:13. So this took exactly 40 minutes. I had a goal of 45 minutes and had this done start to finish in 40 minutes. So I was above the $20 an hour for this order. Okay, the next thing that I want to, now this is kind of like the trickiest thing that causes headaches on these shop and pay orders, is kind of like a big issue here, is the issue about substitutions. So more often than not, the customers will list like customer approved substitutions that you can choose from. So you go to get an item, and the item's not there. Let's say it's a 12 pack. Let's just say, throw out an example here, a 12 pack of cherry vanilla Dr. Pepper. Okay, and you go back there and they don't have that. Well, the first thing you're going to do is hit item unavailable. And if you're lucky, the customer will already have some substitutions listed that you can choose from. So if you're lucky, they'll just have like one of them will be like regular Dr. Pepper. And then if that's there, boom, you just pick that up, scan that, and there you go, and problem solved. Sometimes it's not that easy. You have other instances where either the customer doesn't list a substitution, or the original item isn't there, and you can't find any of the substitutions either. So what you have to do in that case is you have to message the customer, and before you check out, like, with now, let me back up. I have had, not too often, but sometimes, when an item's unavailable, look at the bottom of the screen there. Sometimes it'll say that the customer requested a refund if this item is unavailable, or you can suggest a substitution. If I see that message, a lot of times, if I have the option to do that, I'll just go ahead and issue the refund. If the customer said ahead of time that they're okay with that, then that's going to be the easiest thing for me, and I'll just go ahead and issue that refund. But other examples, like I said, the customer didn't list any substitutions, and so you want to try to both text, and if you have to, call the customer before you just like check out without getting anything. Because if you do that, and I've been guilty of this before, you run the risk of getting a bad review from the customer. I'll give you a classic example that I don't like talking about this order, but this was, I was a new dasher. Okay, this was within my first couple months. I got a Meyer order that it was just like a bouquet of flowers and a candy bar. And I got the candy bar. They didn't have the flowers, this particular bouquet. And I text the customer, no reply. Okay, I waited a few minutes, no reply. So I just went to the checkout lane and refunded that item and just checked out with just a candy bar, and that's all I delivered to the customer. As far as I was concerned, I was just following the proper procedures. The customer never responded to me. I got a 1-star customer review from that. So I should have, and I did not call the customer on that order. And so that's what you're gonna, if you do stuff like that, that's what you're gonna run into. So like I said, send a text to the customer. It's a good idea also to take a shelf picture of the items that they do have, and include that with your message to the customer. Hey, they don't have cherry vanilla Dr. Pepper here, but they have regular Dr. Pepper and this and this and this, and include that in your message. And if I don't hear back from the customer, I'll try to call them. Now, the rule on this, and I was told this from DoorDash support, there is like a 3-minute rule on this, that you're supposed to wait at least 3 minutes for a customer to respond. And if they don't respond, then you can check out and have the item refunded. So I'll send my message. I get a lot of these customers that just won't respond at all. And what usually happens is I send a text, I wait 3 minutes, I don't hear anything back. I go to call and it just rings and they don't pick up, or it goes to a voicemail. I never leave voicemails. If it goes to voicemail, I just hang up. Okay. And you've waited your 3 minutes, no response. Then what I do is I have like a message that I send out in the app to the customer that DoorDash can later see, just in case there's any issues with this order. So I'll send a message that says something like, no response to my text message or phone call. I will now be checking out without the such and such item. thank you for placing your DoorDash order for today, or something along those lines is what I send. And then I have proof in the app that I tried to contact the customer, but they didn't respond, and so now I'm checking out. So the next thing, one last thing about this is don't what you want to do is if an item doesn't scan, it says this is not the right item. You want to be careful on some things. Don't just assume that if something is close to being the right thing but it's not, don't just assume that you can substitute an item like on your own. I had one bad experience with that. I had a Dollar General order where it was some kind of allergy medication. It was like I can't remember if it was like 12 hour or 24 hour. Well, I found something on the shelf that wasn't exactly what the customer requested, but to me it looked like just about like the same thing, and it wouldn't scan and it wouldn't, but I like basically I forced it as a substitution. And I get up to the register and they try to ring me out, and I go to swipe my red card and the red card got declined. So basically, what I picked out was more expensive than the item that the customer requested, and I couldn't check out. And there was a line of customers behind me, and I just ended up dropping the order. I wasn't gonna have to get on the phone with DoorDash support, rectify the issue, and then get back in line again. And it was only like a $5 or $6 order, so I just dropped it. But anyway, that's the things that I have to keep in mind for like actually like shopping the orders. Okay, so that's all I have for this episode number 2. Stay tuned upcoming for when episode 3 gets released. In that episode, the final episode, I'm going to cover checking out at the cash registers and some things to keep in mind with checking out and loading the order into your car and the final steps, the delivery process. So definitely check that out when that video becomes available. And thanks so much for watching, and as always, be safe out there driving. Until next time. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, check out my other videos, a lot of good stuff, a lot of information for all things DoorDash, and we will see you at the next video. Thanks again for watching.